is today. Okay? So we have our bell ringer number 4. We're going to go through credit cards. We're going to have an activity where we're going to get you guys up to move. So as you can see down here, we have our perfect credit score. All beautiful coloring. 850, right? You guys talked about it. All the way down to our credit score of 300. That looks like my face. Okay? But we're going to give an activity for you guys to move back and forth. Okay? But our objective is to just understand what hurts your credit score and by the amount. Okay? So, 2 questions that you're going to answer for bell ringer number 4 here. 1, how do you see credit cards playing a role in your future? Okay? And then there's an article here that after reading it, what are 2 things that stood out to you that are the most important to know about? Okay? So, going to come in here to this article. There's the other slide. Okay? And then read that article and give me 2 things that you thought that were most important we're going to discuss. Okay? I'm going to give us 5 minutes, okay, to work on that, and then we'll come back and discuss as a group. Okay? We're jumping into that. Yes.
Our class? UT2?
My voice is already going, it's only 2 minutes.
All 3 clean sweeping.
credit card purchase with the Weber trading card?
I already bought. I was
You
gonna
bought
buy.
an iPad?
No, I bought a bed. I need a bed.
Yes, you can buy it for outright. You can go to the store and negotiate a cheaper price. Because they get all that money up front.
I see. I don't know what one place is one place.
Hmm?
Everybody is one place.
What about Facebook?
My dad had it installed on Facebook.
I mean, that's probably straight cash.
I'm very quickly. Oh, I sold that bed. The one that I said I was keeping. You should know how to go on it. And it was cool. So, there's a website that you can do, but it doesn't look good. Yeah.
Okay. Phones away. Looks like we've got a lot of submissions in there. All right, I'm going to start with McKenna. So I'm looking for at least one thing you took away from the article that we have right here for our credit. Okay. All right, McKenna, fire away.
For which one?
Give me either of them. Just give me one.
Fact that stood out to me was get approved of a credit card. Students under 21 will need to show proof that they can repay their debt.
Okay. If I'm under 21, right, need to show proof to pay debt. Toss it to someone else. You can call out their name.
Seniors graduate with more than $4,100 in credit card debt on average.
All right, senior. Okay, so as we heard, a senior in college. Credit card debt. Okay, $4,100. Can anyone remember last class, and I know it's been this and a weekend, right? It's been a little bit. Does anyone know what the average credit card debt for someone in Missouri was when we looked at the statistics? It's about 5,000 to 5,500. So you're right on the track, right? If we're thinking 6,000, look at the number of what a senior's coming out. Is that almost what we're talking about? Okay. So where are we when we're looking at this? Okay. When we're looking at this, where are we starting off with where we have debt right off the bat that we usually get ourselves in a hole? Right out of college, right? Okay, where we just got a full-time job, we all of a sudden got our own expenses, we're paying rent, we're paying utilities, we're paying what we want to eat, and heaven forbid we want to have some fun, right? We have more free time than we probably will with the rest of our lives, right? So that's something to think about. Toss it to someone else. All right, Mike, so what you got?
I said I'll probably use a credit card in the future to like build on my credit score.
Yeah, we're going to probably use that to build up your credit score, right? So build that credit history, okay, because that's going to be important. So, as I had a side conversation with someone already today where they say that their parents pay their cars in full. If you can pay your car in full, we really recommend it. If you're coming out and you haven't had a job for very long, are you going to have time to build up that credit to just pay out in cash? Probably not. Okay, so we want to be thinking about doing and building that in the future. Toss it to someone else. Anybody. Call out their name and just check it. Yeah, go ahead. All right, give it to me. Lucas, nice catch. What you got?
I got the card act, like so, like the colleges are recommended to provide education about credit cards and like college.
So they're going to give you some education about college, credit cards in college, which is great. Okay. Good. Joe, what do you got?
I read a sentence that says to get approved for a credit card, underage people that need it approved, they'll be able to pay back their money.
So they definitely want to be able to prove they can do that. What would they maybe also need if you're under 21 or under 18? A cosigner, right? So right now, okay, most of you, and there may be a couple people that are a little bit older, right, are 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, right around that age. Is that right? Okay. If you go through and you start to build a credit card, you can get a co-signer, like a trusted parent, right, that can build that up. So one of our people would say, should they have a credit card, did they have kind of a co-signer parent that was helping them with their bills, right? So that's something that we can use to help build that credit, right? A little bit safer, okay, where mom and dad are helping me out and understanding, hey, I'm just building it a little bit at a time, okay? Anybody else? Okay? Alex, why might you need a credit card in the future? What do you think?
I would need a credit card in the future to build a credit score for like housing and stuff like that.
Yeah. So if you wanted to have a house, car, maybe a boat, I don't know. Important to build that up, right, for future. Okay? Now, we're going to do an activity that's going to influence that credit score here in a minute. One thing I do want to highlight for you, I'll take it. Okay? You're going to see if you guys do go to college, again, that's personal choice for you. Okay, let's put our phones away. All right? Personal choice for you. You're going to see credit card companies around colleges where they're going to give you free stuff. Maybe a t-shirt, maybe a Frisbee, maybe like, I'm going to give you $50 or $100 to start your credit card, right? And put it in your checking account. Okay? We want to make sure that we're responsible with that. Okay? Believe it or not, people will just sign up for something for just a free t-shirt. Okay? So when you do that, you at least want to know what's inside of it. And that's what we're going to kind of highlight for us today. Okay? Questions on this? Perfect. Here's what I need for you guys to do right now. Okay? So we'll erase this. I need these tables right there pushed back. Okay? I need these tables and chairs pushed back. Those over there. I need everyone in the middle. Okay? And we're going to get into our next activity. Okay, so as we're looking on this, so I need a line kind of facing this direction. I need another line right here facing this direction. So you guys can come on in. It's all right, the water's warm. Okay, but we're going to face this way. So what you're going to see right now, you got 850. That's perfect, right? That's the cream of the crop. That's elite, A1, whatever you guys call it nowadays. Okay? But we're going to move up and down with our credit score. Okay? Based on the decisions that we have. So, if you think that your credit score is going to go forward, you're going to take a step forward and we're going to ask you to explain why you made that step. If you think it's going back to 300, where it's nice and poor like me and Nick Miller, okay, then we're going to ask you to explain that. If you think there's no change, you stay put. Okay? But we'll ask what that is. Now, what determines your credit score? Okay? Couple of things. One, 30% is how much you owe, right? If I have $10,000, okay, and I have paid $6,000 on my credit card, I owe that $6,000, I got $4,000 difference, right? I've used 60% of it. That's going to influence my credit score. 10% is new credit, right? If I open a new line of credit, okay, that can influence that as well. The length of your credit history, so even if I'm paying that minimum payment, that length is going to help build that credit score up. Your credit mix, is it just all credit cards, or maybe you have a student loan, a car payment, a mortgage? What is that mix there? And then your payment history. Am I paying on time? Am I paying in full? Am I paying more than the minimum balance? Okay, so those are the things that can influence. So, first one, pay all my credit card bills on time for 1 month. What are we doing? Am I going forward, staying still, moving back? How far do you think you can go? You're going a long ways, Joe. What do we think? Why are we moving forward?
Like, if you pay it all back, it's like, whatever, this is good for you.
So you paid it all back. It's good, right? I paid 1 month. That's good. Okay, Haley, what do you think?
Same thing. It's just like increases your credit score. You don't have to pay it back.
Absolutely. So the more that we do that, right? Now, so it would increase a little, right, if we paid everything off a little bit. Any reason why we think it might not even have any change?
1 month.
It's 1 month, right? So we are showing that we're doing it in good faith, but it's 1 month. So we haven't really built that longevity or that history. Excellent. Okay? You max out your credit card to pay for spring break. I'm going to 30A, racking up that credit card bill. Okay? Headed down to Destin, we're going to have a blast. Okay? Thank you. Were you guys not here for Halloween? Oh. All right, so we maxed out our credit card for spring break. I see everyone took a step back. Any why? We maxed it out, right? Okay. Riley, how about you? We maxed it out. We can't spend anymore. Okay. So yeah, it's going to decrease a little bit because we hit our limit. Now, what could make it even worse? We don't pay any of it back. We start paying a little bit back, we can kind of work our way up, but it's going to definitely decrease. And if we don't do anything, it looks like my face. All right, number 2. All right, applied for 4 additional credit cards in a short amount of time because your one is existing is maxed out. Am I going back? Am I staying the same? Am I taking a step forward? Nathan, it looked like you just stayed the same. Is that right? Why?
In the pie chart, having opening new cards does increase, but you still have one that's maxed out.
Yep, that's a good point. All right, Joe, you look like you moved back. Why?
You already have 4. I mean, 1 maxed out when you added 4. Like, the more you go with the 4, they trust you.
Okay. Good. So, a couple of things. So it could decrease a lot, right? If we maxed it out, we take out 4 new credit cards, we have a new credit card mix. That's why you could see it increase just a little, right? Because it could space it out. If we start using that to pay it off on time, that can help increase it. If we max it out and we open the other ones and we start not being able to pay those, but we're just getting more and more in debt, that's going to sink us like battleship. Okay? So we want to make sure, right, if we do open those new line of credit, we're using those responsibly as we pay that other one down. Okay? What about, I received this large tax fund and deposit, and I put it all in my savings account. Am I coming over here? Am I staying put? Am I going backwards? Claire, what did you just say? Okay, so are you moving up, lower, or are you staying the same? Okay, so large tax refund, I think you're on the right track. Okay, large tax refund, I put it all in savings. Am I paying off any bills? Anything with credit related? So what do you think probably happens? So I would be like no change, right? Okay. What happens, right, if I receive a huge tax settlement and then I use it to pay off debt? Probably a big thing. Okay, so let's try reframe it. Now I use my tax refund, I pay down off my max credit cards. What happens? So you pay it all off. Right? You pay it all. You're right. It doesn't look like it makes up. If you get a high number, you can pay it off. So, Lieutenant, what do you think about this?
If you pay it off, then it's good.
It's good. So it's going to increase a lot. If I run up a huge number, let's say I run up $10,000 worth of credit card debt, right? I got to the very echelon, I get a tax refund, I pay all that off, man, that's going to shoot me back through the roof because I paid off that debt. Sure, I got a really big number, so I'm trustworthy enough that I can make sure I can pay my bills and do that properly. Right? Now, what about you're a college graduate from college, you move from part-time to full-time work, resulting in a huge salary increase. We staying put, Joe?
No, moving up.
Moving up. Why are we moving up?
Because the higher salary will allow you to pay off your bills.
Yeah, if we have a higher salary, we could pay our bills off that, Pastor. Do we know that that's happening right now? What are they telling you? Your salary's increasing. Did anyone remember the ESPN 30 for 30 broke video? Okay? We learned about professional athletes that there was a guy that made $48 million. $48 million. Goes to a financial advisor, broke. Is that enough money that he could probably pay bills? I would hope so. I mean, I don't know what his lifestyle is, but I would hope 48 million could do that. Maybe not. Okay. So does that necessarily mean that that results in you having great credit or being able to pay your bills? Probably not. Now, if you have a huge salary and you pay that off, yeah, you're gonna have great credit. But it's what your decision is with that, right? And unfortunately, we don't know that. Okay, so there's no change there. Now, if you're making on-time student loan payments while making credit card minimum payments for an entire year, okay, what does that look like? Well, this will be our last one before lunch. We go a little bit. Joe, why are we going up a little bit?
We're not paying it back full, but we're still paying like minimum, so it's just a little bit better.
Yeah, so we're increasing it. Okay. Now with this one, how long are you paying this off? An entire year. Okay. So when we're looking at it, it's going to actually increase a lot. Everyone move forward, right? Awesome. So even though you're paying the minimum payments on your credit card, you're also paying your student loans. So we have that credit card and history length. You got over a year of making payments on time where you're extending that and building that trust. Okay, so that's a really great outcome. Okay, so we'll come back to this. You guys got about like 3 or 4 minutes for lunch. You got time to chill. Okay, but we will finish the rest of this after lunch. Okay, we'll go from there. Questions?